This presentation is on how to create a box table in MS Word 2013. These are your learning objectives for this lesson. Okay, today we're going to talk about creating a basic table, and there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. And we're going to look at this data that we have here. We have sales representatives and the region they cover, and the amount of sales that they've done for the quarter, the year perhaps. So let's go up here and look under Insert. Whenever you want to do a table, go to Insert, and here's a little table here, and you can add a table. Now, there's a couple different ways to do that. If you know how many columns and rows you want, you can use the little grid. Okay, we've got the sales representative, region, and amount of sales going to be your title line, so you've got to count that as a row. And right now we have 4 salespeople, so you want a title row and 4, so you want 5 rows. Okay, so you count down 5. And you've got sales rep, region, and amount of sales, so that's going to be 3 columns. Alright, so there you go. There's your table. Alright, now, I already typed this stuff in, so I'm just going to kind of copy and paste, or drag and drop, whatever, and put this information in the table very quickly. Okay. Oops, that's not going to work. You can also do a text-to-table. If you've already gotten the text typed in, you can actually do a text-to-table. If you had your text in column format, you can actually do a text-to-table, and it would create this table for you. Okay, oops. Put all this in here. Now, just so that you know, when you're doing a table, you want to make sure that all your numbers are aligned to the right. Or in the event that we had decimals, which we don't for these numbers, these are all whole numbers, but so if you had whole numbers here with decimals, you would want to either align with the decimals, okay, but since we have whole numbers, we want to align these numbers on the right. So let's go ahead and take care of that first. Highlight the whole column, go back to the home row, and align everything to the right. Alright, now some things you need to know in a column, in a table. This sort of reminds you of Excel, doesn't it? Where you've got columns and you've got rows. So when you see in your homework and it tells you to select certain cells, it's talking about cells like in Excel. So this is A, B, C. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So just think about it. It's like you do in Excel. A, B, C across the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So when it's asking you to select cells C to 5 and align to right, that's what we just did. This is column C. This is cell 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we aligned all that to the right. Okay? All right. And we want to place a tab in the last cell and add a row. Okay? So we want to add a row. If you do that, just boom. All right? We're going to add a row because we're going to add somebody in a few minutes. In fact, let's go ahead and put him in now. We're going to add somebody. So all you have to do is just go to the end and press tab, and that'll add a new row. If you wanted to add a next row, just go over here to the last cell, press the tab key, and you'll add another row. If you realize you've added too many rows, just highlight that row and hit delete cells. And you'll want to delete the entire row. Okay, so let's go ahead and add in the other fellow that we need to add in. Oops. Okay, let's say Gonzalez. Okay, he's in the east. And he earns, let's see, 83,479. Okay, now we've got everybody's earnings in. Now, we need to do some things with this table. All right. Let's, you know, everything's the same height, so you want to change things up a little bit so to make it easier to read. Right now you've got things kind of highlighted differently, so you really want to kind of look at this table and make some changes to it so it's a little easier to read. First of all, you want to center your headings. Okay. Everything's kind of aligned at the top. You don't want that. You want things aligned at the bottom. Okay. So let's highlight everything so that it's aligned at the bottom. You'll want to right click. Okay. And let's see. This one always eludes me sometimes as to where it is. Sometimes it's there and sometimes. Alright, if it's not there, go up to Table Design and look for Layout. Ah, there it is. Over here we have these little boxes. You want to align at the bottom. So you either want it left aligned, right aligned, whatever. So let's try left aligned first, which is going to throw these guys out of whack. So then you're going to have to go down here and fix these. Alright, now we still got some space in here, so I wonder what's causing that. Alright, let's look and see. Let's go back up to the paragraph. Remember when you got that extra space? Nope, not there. Alright, let's see. Ah, there we go. There's extra space in there, so let's get rid of that extra space. Okay. Make sure that everything's down on the bottom there. You've either got extra space or you've got extra paragraphs. If you don't have that extra, if the paragraph marking is fine, then there's extra spacing in there somewhere. So let's get rid of all that. All right. There you go. Okay. Okay, let's, those headings are still not standing out very well, are they? All right, let's look at those guys. They've probably got too much space in there, too. Get rid of that. Okay, not so bad now. But they still don't stand out very good, do they? So let's center those. Highlight everybody. Go up here and center. And why don't we bold them? There we go. And if you want to do a little bit more, you can always do some other neat things. Table design. Whenever you highlight inside the table, you'll notice these table tools come up. You can always go to design and give your table a neat look. There you go. There's your table. Okay. So there you go. That's your table for tonight. And you can play with it and dress it up all you want. But make it nice and readable. And dress it up a little bit. And there you go.